Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for yet another fragrance review. Today, what I want to do is take a look at a very rare, very discontinued, and very hyped fragrance from the 90s, late 90s, 1997, from Dolce and Gabbana. That's Dolce and Gabbana's By Man, the famous zebra bottle. So, what we're going to do, we'll break it down for the most part, like always, with the presentation, the notes, the performance based on my experience, my thoughts, and then, of course, my overall rating. But this one is got a lot of hype. It all of a sudden disappeared, and the prices are through the roof. You're talking $350, $450, like in that range for just the bottle. Doesn't even matter the size. So I'm gonna let you guys know if I think that it is worth it or if it just has fallen short. It's one that I've only done a first impression on. It's one that I've spent just a little bit of time with since the first impression, and you guys get to see if my thoughts have changed. So before we get started, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this type of classic men's fragrance content, make sure to subscribe to support the channel. I really appreciate that. And if you have an Instagram, check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel, photos of fragrances from my collection, and daily scent of the day posts. Let's take a look at Dolce & Gabbana's By Man. Okay, the presentation for this fragrance, I don't have a box. I just got the bottle. I got it unboxed. I got it about 80% full. You can still see the juice in there, but there's a lot left. It is a 100 ml bottle. Dolce & Gabbana, it's gonna be a little reflective. You got the house, it just says By, and then Man over here on the top, you don't have anything. And then on the bottom, you've got a sticker. This is batch code 012501, Dolce & Gabbana. It's the coolest, one of the coolest bottles, I think, you know what I mean? It is very unique, it stand out. I think it is a nice bottle. The box is the same thing, just like obviously a long rectangle box that this goes in, still the zebra print. So I do really like the look of it. You can take the cap off. It does click in, you can hold it by the cap. Let's take a look at the sprayer. I'm gonna spray some on here. I got a card, tester card. Sprayer's garbage, really shitty sprayer, so that's kind of disappointing. But overall, very interesting and very unique presentation for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man. Okay, so the notes for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man, it's funny because it's different from a lot of the fragrances that I review, from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, where they're like stuffed with notes. This doesn't have much notes at all. The base has the most. In the top, you just have two. It's nutmeg and pepper. And then in the mid, you have lavender and artemisia. And then in the base of the fragrance, this is where most of the notes are gonna be coming out. You have sandalwood, tobacco, leather, amber, and guaiac wood. But to me, it's amber and it's woods. And yeah, maybe a little bit of lavender, I think, obviously, because it's sort of an amber fougere, so it has a little bit of those sort of barbershop characteristics. But those are the notes that I pick up on initially. Is going to be, your sandalwood, your amber, and a little bit of the woods. Okay, so the performance for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man, I don't know. I really have no idea. I haven't worn it out much. I think one time since the first impression and a few times at night. I would imagine it's like okay, but who really cares about the performance for this fragrance? Okay, so it's time for my overall thoughts for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man. Let me just put some on my hand here because it is different on the tester strip than it is on your skin. So, my initial thoughts when I did my first impression, which is about almost a year ago at this point, 10 months, and to now are gonna be a little bit different. Initially, I thought, okay, it's kind of a powdery, a little bit of a barbershop, woodsy, amber scent. Yes, I could see it being something on a date night, maybe in the 90s someone would wear, so that's a positive. Yes, maybe it would get some compliments to this day. It's not as abrasive or as, loud as some of the 80s fragrances that I prefer. But the more time I spent with it, the more time I thought that this was the biggest waste of money of my entire fragrance, especially vintage discontinued purchase. There's no reason that this should be as much money as it is. Let's think about the other part. It did exist and then they took it away, right? Why did they take it away? Because once you have it on your skin for longer, once I spent some time with it and I wasn't just excited, because initially I was pumped to get this. I'm like, I got one of the holy grails of fragrances. And then once I started wearing it and having it on my skin, even at night, like after work, like after the gym, I would shower. Let me just spray it on. Let me just spend some time with it in my house, see how I feel. It smells like old, stale, vanilla, like waffle cereal that you open up when you're a kid and you're like, oh God, I can't eat that stuff. This, like, I don't it's so cloying and it gives me a headache once it's on my skin for that long. Like in my first impression, I put it on and then I immediately went, I had another fragrance. I had Charles Giordano Homme, which is an 80s, or 70s or 80s classic. And then I had this one. So, it was a nice contrast, but spending more time with this stuff sucks. It's so bad. Like I can't have it on without getting a headache. And it just almost smells feminine. It's like a powdery, very, very powdery. And you know what's funny? On a live stream that was done yesterday, and today is when I'm filming this is Friday morning before I'm going to work. Mr. Smelly had this out. He goes, oh, this is one of my holy grails. And he likes this one. That's half the reason why I got it, because I'm like, okay, me and him usually have pretty similar tastes when it comes to the fragrances. So he said that this was probably Dolce & Gabbana's answer to Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male. And I could see that. I think in my first impression, I even said it gives you a little bit of a Le Male vibe. Now, I wore Le Male for years. It's like one of my only fragrances. This stuff is not nearly as good as that. I think that hands down, that's still being made. You can go buy it, and you can go buy a big bottle for like $80, where this is going for $300, $400. I was lucky when I thought it was a good deal. I got this for $195. So round up, we'll say $200, right? I got that, and it was 80% full. I probably used maybe, since that first impression, maybe 10 sprays of it since then. And I just think it's absolute trash now that I've had it on my skin. Like, I wouldn't want this on my clothes. It really is headache inducing for me. If you think about Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male, this stuff by man is like the really flashy, weird guy that, because he wears a zebra outfit, that Le Male went to high school with, that randomly hits you up in like a DM on Instagram out of nowhere. You haven't talked to him in 15 years. And he's like, oh, hey guy, what's going on, man? I was thinking of you. I think you'd be a great fit for this opportunity that I have. And you get to be your own business owner. You just need to come over to my house. And I'm going to give you a little presentation. And then you just need to give me $500. And he's just trying to pitch you a pyramid scheme. That's the guy that wears this crap. I don't even know if I want to sell it or if I should keep it because it's so rare. The coolest thing about this is the bottle. Like, that's it. The fragrance is mediocre. Not even mediocre. There are so many other rare vintage fragrances that you could get for the money that you would spend on this. You could get so many other ones. You could get stuff like Caesar's Man, legendary cologne spray. Excellent. Glory of the Roman Empire. You could get something for like $60 or $50. Businessman by Panouge. Amazing fougere. If you want to spend big bucks and get something amazing, go get Gucci Nobile. This is what the big boys wear. This stuff is like the sandbox at the playground. It is gross. It just is filled with the worst notes once it's on. Initially, it's not bad, but once it stays on your skin for longer, once you spend time with it, in my opinion, it was one of the absolute worst landmines I've ever stepped on. $200 down the drain. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I should keep it. I want to know what you guys think about that. But anyway, this stuff is just a bad decision. Do not buy it. It's not worth it. I hope that other people see this video and the prices for this just start to plummet and everybody gets it. And then, of course, Dolce & Gabbana will bring it back again. Okay, guys, time for my overall rating for Dolce & Gabbana's By Man. Presentation is cool. The performance, who cares? And the scent sucks. My overall rating for this, from me, is don't buy it. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for me. That's my review and thoughts on the rare and discontinued Dolce & Gabbana By Man. So I definitely want to hear from all of you in the comment section. Have you ever got a fragrance that you really thought was going to be great because of the hype, because of how rare it is, and then you initially thought it smelled good on your very first impression, and then you didn't wear it for a long time, and then you put it on again, and then you realize, wow, this is absolute trash? Because that's what happened to me. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this fragrance? Should I keep it? Should I sell it? Does it remind you of someone that sells or hawks pyramid schemes in your Instagram DMs? Because it certainly does for me. That's the smell of just awfulness that I get. I always appreciate all the interaction. I want to thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. Check out the Sense of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.